सिद्धार्थ द्विवेदी। अब 2 मिनट इधर ही हो, तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कुछ। ये नाम क्या है? श्वेता। अच्छा, श्वेता जी।
I would like to ask the speaker, Punmiya ji, are you ready? Should we begin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. So, we are here to learn about the Union Budget 2022. How grateful we are that we all could be together here at this beautiful day to talk about such an important topic. Just to brief down the agenda for today, the first would be the preface of today's session will be given by Shweta Jain Madam. A few words by Umesh Narvekar sir. In the second part, we will move on to the session today, that is talking about the Union Budget 2022. The third part, we will just close the webinar today by a warm vote of thanks by C.A. Siddharth Dwivedi ji. Okay. So moving on to the first part, a preface for today's session by Shweta Jain Madam. Ma'am, please take ahead.
Thank you so much, Nishchit. Speaker of the today's session, Vimal Punmiya sir. Past Chairman, Vasai Branch, Unmesh Narvekar ji. Deputy Convener, Mira Road Study Circle, Siddharth Dwivedi. Coordinator and MOC, Nishchit Shetty. And all the participants, a very good evening to all of you. At the outset, let me thank to Vimal Punmiya sir. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation despite the busy schedule. I was hearing that you were there in another session from 5 to 7 and dot 7 you are here. I'm really grateful to you. Friends, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget on Tuesday. There were a host of measures for a number of sectors aimed at boosting growth amid high and rising inflation and continuing COVID uncertainties. So there, however, were remarkably few changes to the personal income tax structure in a year that had seen demands from various quarters for some sort of relief or another in times of pandemic. So among today's assortment of announcement, the decision to tax receivers of digital assets transfer at a high 30% got some serious attention. So aside from that, the announcement, lot of secrets are there in this budget, or a lot of relaxations or opportunities are also hidden in this. So many questions in our mind, and we have a very learned speaker, or I should say a seasoned player, CA Vimal Punmiya sir with us. So he will give us a detailed analysis of the various measures announced by finance ministers. So I welcome you once again, sir, at Mira Road CP Study Circles platform. Thank you so much once again for the accepting the invitation. And I would conclude here my talk and will hand over to Nishchit for further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We would request Unmesh Narvekar sir is here. Okay, I can't see him. Okay, so maybe some technical issue. I'm not able to see, sir. So we're moving forward. In the next part, I would like to introduce CA Vimal Punmiya, sir. He's a chartered accountant, BCom, LLB. He's practicing for the last 45 years in the name of Mrs. Vimal Punmiya and Company. And he's helped attended more than 1,000 resident and non-resident clients at various areas, that is taxation, audit, company law, RBI, GST, cooperative society, and other matters relating to property appeal, search and seizure, etc. He's attached to nearly hundreds of companies, trust, firms as advisor, director, auditor, or trustee. So,
Nishchit, Unmesh sir has joined again. You have to click on CM. Maybe possibly name has changed from another PC he has logged in. CM,
I can see him now. I can see him now. Just a second. I'm just making him the presenter, so he's unable. to enable him to come on video.
Yeah, thank you, Nishchit. And
Yes, sir.
it's a great pleasure to see stalwart Vimal Punmiya ji, master on the income tax, sir. सर आपसे बहुत पुराना रिश्ता है, 20 सालों से शायद हम मिलते जुलते हैं, इसी बार है साल में ये एक मीटिंग तो फिक्स ही है regarding the budget. And sir is so kind enough to regularly presenting the subject of union budget for the members of the Mira Binder. और सर का आज एक ब्रांड वैल्यू हमारे यहाँ बना हुआ है कि विमल पुनिया का लेक्चर नहीं होगा तो बजट समझ में नहीं आ गया, ऐसे ही हो जाता है. It's a love of Vimal Punmiya sir to discuss this. और सर एक lucidity सर की ऐसी है कि कॉमन मैन हो, सीए मेंबर हो या नॉन सीए मेंबर हो या स्टूडेंट हो, उनकी वाणी में ऐसी कोई मिठास है कि बजट के हर एक प्रोविजन को एकदम बढ़िया से समझ में आ जाता है. So it is really a great thing that you have been over here, sir. I know 1 तारीख से आपका लगा 31 से लग गए होंगे आप काम पे, but from 1st of onwards I see that so many meetings have been conducted and in a very detailed manner, in a very short span of time, you have been taking up the subject very well. Sir, we welcome you to the Mirabar Study Circle, sir. This is the first thing which we are taking up from your side, this lecture from budget meeting for Mirabar Study Circle. So we are very happy to have you with us. I think the participants will be immensely benefited with your great knowledge, sir. Sir, the span of your experience is sometimes more than professionals we are listening to you. उससे बहुत बड़ा सर आपका experience रहा है income tax की इसमें. So we always be delighted to listen you very well, sir. Sir, thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And friends, members, I think this will be a great opportunity for all of us to have Vimal Punmiya sir take up each word, each and every word of the topic that is going to discuss about the budget, the changes and amendments, and he will be taking through the back history of the section and what is present. So like that, comparative analysis will be available to you, sir, and then it will be very great thing for all of us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Over to Nishchit, please. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Umesh sir. Now quickly moving on to the session, the thing that we are all here for. Handing over the session to CA Vimal Punmiya sir. So please take it forward from here.
Yes, sir. Kapil, इसको फोटो को बड़ा कर दो. नहीं हो रहा, कोई बात नहीं. My friend CA Sweta Jain, Secretary of WRC, Kunal Misra ji, Siddharth Dwivedi ji, Umesh bhai Narvekar, my another friend, and then Saturday को इनकी उधर ही जा रहा हूँ भाईंदर में. And friends of Mira Bhainder Study, Mira Road Study Circle. Friends, straight we coming to the budget. What is the budget? Let me explain to you. This is the one of the shortest budget which I have seen in last 20 years. I have divided whole part in four part whole speech. Favorable, what is favorable to us, what is against us, what is general in nature, which just is a procedure part, and of course later on we deal with the question and answer. Overall, finance minister when she was presenting the budget, I thought she is giving beginning में what she was discussed, she is given history of last 25 years, or rather future of last 25 years. And sometimes she also used the word of 2070, 2050, 2090. I mean, God knows who will remain in today. She is making her statement. Half of the person will be not there by 2050 and 2070. So she is given what government is going to achieve in next 25 years. Those projections has been given. And of course, the figures has been given for the 1 year only. And she predicted growth of 9.2%, fiscal deficit of 6.9%. And good thing which I found from her speech is that in our country we have nearly 36,000 acts. Many acts are as old as 700-year-old. So 1,486 old law has been scrapped. So that is of course definitely good sign. And accordingly things are going on. Now straightway we will restrict ourselves to the income tax, direct taxes. And one by one, I will deal with the direct tax provision, because hopefully we are majority of income tax practitioners, and we have to deal with the direct tax every day and night. And now after faceless assessment, faceless appeal started, our work has become more important, because we have to be perfect in the writing. Our research should be ready day-to-day basis. What type of client you have? You can't have judgment of all the sections. But for example, you have a builder client, then you must be expert of that area. You must know latest development taken place. You have, for example, retailers, then you must know about that. If you have a chemical dealer, jeweler, then that type of expertise is required. The time of expertise have come. General physician have no value. And of course, एक बार अपन सीए बन गए तो दाल रोटी तो मिलने ही वाला है, पर हलवा पूड़ी खाना है तो आपको एक्सपर्ट बनना ही पड़ेगा कोई न कोई एक एरिया का, अदरवाइज वो गाड़ी चलने वाली नहीं है. Now first item I will say, good thing, no change in rate of tax, because last 2 years we have seen COVID and government is also very tight. Of course, collection has gone up like anything in income tax and GST, so that is a good sign. Otherwise, I thought, because when the collection figure was not known earlier, clear figure, so I thought that government is spending lot money, so they are going to may bring estate duty or inheritance tax, or maybe bring wealth tax back, or they bring some special type of surcharge. But luckily, nothing has happened and no tax has gone up. So that is a really very good sign. On the contrary, at least 4 or 5 places, they reduce the rate of tax. So that is another good sign. Now, well, let us start one by one. What is in our favor, what is against, and what is general. Now, we all know in last year, corporate surcharge for companies were at the rate of 12% if their income exceeds more than 1 crore. Now, in last budget, they said if income is between 1 crore to 10 crore, then surcharge will be not 12%, but it will be 7%. And they reduced to 7%. But for cooperative housing society, not cooperative housing society or cooperative premises society, cooperative sugar society, cooperative bank, and various type of cooperative society, surcharge was still 12%. So on the contrary, they must give some benefit to cooperative society as compared to the company. So now they reduce for cooperative society also. If income is between 1 crore to 10 crore, then surcharge will be 7% and not 12%. So that is a good sign. Second, as on today, if you know, we file appeal in the High Court, or department also file, department file more than the SSC file. Well, whenever tribunal decides something in favor of SSC, department go to High Court. Even Central Board of Direct Taxes given guideline, wherever tax involved is less than 50 lakh, tax only, not interest and penalty, then department should not file appeal before tribunal. Up to 1 crore demand, they should not go up to the High Court, and 2 crore in the Supreme Court. And that is, of course, tax, excluding interest and penalty and everything, simple tax. Tax means tax, surcharge, and education cess. You add all three, that is a tax. But department even then file appeal. Today position in Bombay High Court is, if I file appeal today, in 4 to 5 year time, it will be decided whether the appeal is admitted or not. And once it is admitted, then hearing will take after another 15 years. So whatever appeals are filed in 2001 and 2002, hearing is going on now in 2022. So that is the end. So you think a majority of person at the age of 60, 70 years, they filed the appeal, they must be dead actually. The legal age must be handling the cases. So that way, good thing what has happened now, if wherever tribunal decide in favor of SSC and department want to challenge, of course the 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, I told you that is a basic guideline. But again, department issued another circular from time to time. If assessment is reopened because of third party information, case of a penny stock, ITO is completing, assessing officers reopen your case because some GST information have come. This particular person is dealing in bogus bill, or some FERA information have come, custom, excise, DRI. Then of course that limit of 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore will be not applicable. Similar way, so if department want to file the appeal against a particular SSC, and in that case, SSC's case already appeal is filed for the earlier year on the same point, which is legal point, then department will not file appeal for the subsequent period. They will only take confirmation from the assessing officer. If the identical appeal is pending in a High Court, till that appeal decided, we will keep it pending. And once that appeal is decided in favor of SSC, we will follow that. Against the SSC, then we will either follow that order of against, or we can file appeal at that point of time. So the extension will be there. So that is a good sign. A number of appeal will reduce in this system. Now another amendment this time is, in case appeal is pending in some another SSC's case, not in my case. Issue involved is law point. Appeal is pending in a High Court or Supreme Court in another SSC's case, and my case exactly identical with that case. Then also I don't have to file the appeal, and whatever decision take place in that case will be applicable to me also. So number of appeal filed to be, because when department filed the appeal, what happened? It cost them also. When I want to file the appeal, it costs on an average 1 lakh rupee per appeal to the High Court. Because it takes 5 years for admission stage, then 20 years for hearing. So when department file appeal, that also costs them money. They have to pay the filing fees of 10,000. They have to pay fees to the advocate, Xerox charges, this, that. So they will also reduce the overhead. So I think this is also good amendment. Third important point is, last budget we must have seen, settlement commission was scrapped from 1st February 2021. Now what is settlement commission? If somebody has done all the type of lafda in income tax department, and if I to levy the penalty on him, he will be either whole life behind the bar, or whatever money he have, that may not be sufficient to pay his tax and penalty and interest. So then he had right once in a lifetime to go to the settlement commission. And settlement commission had all the power to reduce the interest, reduce the penalty, waive the prosecution. And original days, maybe 30 years back, they had power to give effect to the order to the other agencies. We were filing petition in this income tax, but still they had power give to the power order to the sales tax department, custom, excise, DRI, FERA, then not to harass this SSC, and their order was binding everywhere. So now after 1st February 2021, settlement commission is not there. Of course, their power will also reduced. They cannot waive the interest now, and they only penalty and prosecution. They were prohibited in giving direction to other government agencies. So number of powers has also been reduced in past, but now that is scrapped. Whatever applications are pending before the commission, and commission means 3 chief commissioner who retired, become a member for 3 years, and then big cases come there. It is like a Ganga Sanad of income tax department, but that now discontinued. For small SSC, they brought dispute resolution committee. Here also 3 chief commissioners sits, but only those cases can go there where assessed income is less than 50 lakh rupee. And dispute with the department involved is on the addition of less than 10 lakh rupee. Those person can go. So that dispute resolution scheme have a hearing online and decide the matter. Now, if dispute resolution committee give you a relief, part relief or full relief, then ITO are not having power to give effect of that order. Because dispute resolution committee is appointed last year. How to give it? So ITO are not giving effect. Then what is the use of that? If order is decided by higher authority in my favor, and ITO cannot give effect of that, then no meaning. So now under this amendment, provision has been made that ITO has been given power to give effect of the dispute resolution scheme. Now the fourth issue is really very, very important. It may take 5 to 10 minutes. Very important. Actually, what happened? We have seen voluntary disclosure scheme in 2016. Anyone can declare any money, no problem. We have seen up to March 2020 or December 2020 Vivad se Vishwas scheme. Vivad se Vishwas. Any appeal by paying the tax without paying interest and penalty, SSC can waive get it thing. Penalty appeal is pending, then by paying 25%, appeal can be settled. A number of things have come. Now today, no scheme is there. So, and again, time for filing revised return have also reduced. Time for selection of scrutiny of cases have also reduced. So today what happened? If I file return by July, then I can file revised return by December only. After December, I cannot file. If my return is subject to audit and I file return in month of September, then I have to file my revised return by December, 3 month time. If I am subject to transfer pricing, I file my return in November, then December, only 1 month I can revise. If December is over, I cannot revise my return. If my case is selected under scrutiny, then I can definitely make a submission to the commissioner, officer, कि भाई, while completing assessment, you consider the following further point, which I have forgotten to mention in my return. It can be beneficial to me. It can be against me also. Whatever, I have forgotten some income, so I can offer there. I forgot not claim some deductions. I can claim that. And Supreme Court ka number of orders are there. Yeah, assessment proceeding, ITO can claim that. SSC can claim before the ITO. ITO, even if you don't know, then appealable order. You can file appeal against that. Then what happened? Now, Modi ji, and then after first class assessment, number of scrutiny also have come down. I remember in my office, out of 2,000 cases which I'm handling, in assessment at 18-19, my 80 cases were under scrutiny. 80. 2019-20, not a single case have come under scrutiny. 2020-21, only 3 cases are there under scrutiny. So in that situation, if my case is not selected under scrutiny, my right of filing revised return is over in December, then I know what I can do. I cannot file the return, revised return. So government came under section 139(8)(a) that I can file the revised, amended, you call it updated return. Whatever I've not missed or whatever I've not shown earlier, I can show in this return. And this return can be filed within a period of 2 years from the end of the financial year, which I file the original return. So indirectly, for next 2 years, your VDS or Vivad Se Vishwas or whatever name you call, this scheme is open for us. Now, who can file there, who cannot file, which I will tell you just now. Any person who want to disclose something extra can file the return. So if, for example, by filing the return, amended return, updated return, my income tax goes down, then I cannot file. My income tax must come payable, there should be some increase in the tax payable. Like a settlement commission, you cannot go there to claim the refund. If you're lying, you can pay tax of 10 lakh minimum, then only you are allowed to go there. So similar way, under this scheme, updated return, you have to show extra income. After showing extra income, even earlier, for example, you claim the refund, then refund also cannot increase. It has to decrease, then you can go the benefit. If you file this return within a period of 12 months from the end of the financial year in which you have filed the original return, then you have to pay 25% extra penalty. Now, penalty will be on what? First, you have to compute the income, work out the tax on the income, interest under section 234, ABCD, whatever comes. So you have the total liability. Whatever taxes you paid, deduct that much. So you have the balance tax. Now, for example, you have shown extra interest income. I have received I've given loan to some person. He's not paying me the interest. And I'm not also showing because he's not giving me interest for the last few years. But later on, I realized that he made book entry in his books of accounts and he already paid the TDS. When I filed my return, I verified my 26 AS. That time TDS was not there. So I have not shown that income. Later on, I realized he paid the TDS little late. And now that TDS is appearing in my 26 AS. And I have not shown that income. So I can file revised return, show this income as extra income, and claim TDS also as my tax paid. So whatever leftover I paid, leftover amount payable tax and interest, after claiming all the rebate and the earlier things and whatever, then I have to, if I file within 12 months from the end of the financial year, if return is filed, I have to pay 25% extra amount of that. And if I'm filing after 12 months, but within 24 months, then I have to pay 50% extra amount. For example, tax payable is 15,000, tax and interest extra amount 15. I have to pay another 50% with 7,500. Then I can file the revised return. Now, who cannot do? First, so if my tax is coming less than that figure, earlier tax what I paid, I have not claimed a deduction of the interest. I'm senior citizen. I'm entitled for 40,000 rupee as a TDS, the rebate of the ATL, but I'm not claimed originally. I'm claiming now because the case tax has gone down. I cannot take benefit. I'm claiming 40%, 40,000 extra, but I'm offering 50,000 another income at the same time. Then yes, overall there will be tax payable. I can take benefit. Second case, I have already a case of the search and seizure. Person who is already conducted search or survey on a SSC, such SSC cannot take benefit of this scheme. He cannot file the revised return. Second, I have already filed one updated return, paid the taxes, and then I realized further I made some more mistake. Then I cannot do second time. In one assessment year, I can file only once and not twice. Income tax proceedings, like my case has already been reopened under 148, or commissioner have cancelled under section 263, or some proceedings are going on, then I cannot take benefit. But only is that so-called notice is issued by the department and they want certain information from me, but my case has not been reopened, then of course I can take the benefit of this scheme. In case against me, some case has been filed by the department for money laundering, black money transaction, undisclosed foreign exchange, Benami property, smugglers activity, foreign exchange offense, or department have already lodged prosecution against me, then and I'm involved in the drug case, then also I cannot take benefit of these provisions. So this provision is very applicable to the normal SSC who has really missed something and realize and want to pay tax with the penalty. Those person can take the benefit of this. Any person who will not file the return at all, those person can take benefit of this. But who already filed the return, they can file revised return. Then another section have come, 239A. Now we all know when we purchase the property exceeding 50,000 rupee, then we are 50 lakh rupee, then we deduct 1% TDS and pay to the government. And that apply only in case where amount is involving more than 50 lakh of rupee. Now there are 2-3 amendments are there. One amendment is if a market value as per stamp duty is more than 50 lakh, then TDS will be applicable on stamp duty value. For example, stamp duty work out to be 55 lakh. Income tax में 10% is allowed. But for the purpose of TDS, TDS will be deducted on 55 lakh. At the rate of 1%, 55,000 will be deducted. In case stamp duty value is 45 lakh, the agreement value is 50 lakh, then of course on 50 lakh we will deduct TDS. That is one amendment. Second, no addition will be made within 10% margin income tax may allow. Up to 2019, no margin was there. 2019 to 2021, 5% debate was given. If 5% difference is there, that is permitted. 2021 onwards, 10% is permitted. So that section 50C, section 43CA, section 56 to 10, those provisions are different. But as far as this TDS is concerned, that is covered under section 194. And there it will be deducted higher figure, other party will get the rebate of that. That is clear. Now, what is another amendment? A resident Indian, TDS is only 1%. But in a case of a non-resident Indian, TDS is maximum rate of tax. Maximum rate of tax in the sense 20% capital gain. If your sale value is up to 2 crore, then surcharge is 15%. 2 crore to 5 crore, 25%. 5 crore and above, 37%. And the education says another 4%. So sometimes it work out to 30%. And that amount will be deducted on the wholesale value, not on a profit, but on a sale value. So then every case result into refund. You have 3-4 options. One option, you apply to the ITO for lower TDS certificate. After going to department for 10-15 time or giving all the detail, they will issue lower TDS certificate. Then of course you give to the purchaser, he will deduct lower amount. Second option is, Arey Kapil, yeah, the second option is, let other party deduct the full amount and I claim refund at the rate of whatever tax is payable minus I get the refund. Third option, new option has been given now. After deduction, before I file my return, I make an application to the assessing officer. If my tax comes to this much, deduction is this much, kindly provide me the refund. So ITO will make sure if tomorrow case come under scrutiny or return is not filed and tax payable sufficient guarantor is there in India. Because non-resident, what happened? After claiming refund, they go away foreign country, ITO have no control. And ITO have to give explanation to their superior, what happened. So he will make sure some guarantor is there in India and accordingly refund can be claimed. For example, ITO refuses that. Then he can file appeal against that order of rejection. Because normally appeal under section 246 can be filed only against the order which is defined in section 246. You cannot file appeal against any other order. But now 246A is also amended, and any letter from the income tax officer which is prejudicial to the SSC in Rupiana Pesa, financially money is involved, then you have the appealable order before CIT appeal, and any order passed by CIT appeal, any order, section says particular 5-6 type of order, but now it is amended against any, for example, I apply to ITO for stay of demand, he reject. I can go to CIT appeal. If CIT will reject my stay petition, then I can go to the tribunal. Tribunal reject, I can go to High Court and then Supreme Court. So any order, any letter written by assessing officer, which is produced to me in a form of rupee and a paisa, end of the day must come result into money. Then that order, that letter also become order and it is appealable order. That is the amendment. So for non-resident, it is a big relief. They can claim the refund immediately after transaction is over, even before filing the return, by making a simple application. Now, last time I said कि surcharge on AOP, company, partnership firm, everywhere surcharge is up to 15%. But association of person were paying maximum rate of. I will give you an example. I make a trust for my children. In my lifetime, if I make a trust under the will, which I can do one trust, then of course under the will, trust will be paying tax at the rate of individual. A share of beneficiary is not fixed. If let us say I'm making a trust today in my lifetime only, not under the will, and I allocate 1 crore rupee for the trust, and that trust is for benefit of my wife, my son, and my daughter. I appoint my friend as a trustee, and I first there are two types of trust. One, I say whatever income come during the year, you divide to all 3%. Then trust is not liable to pay any tax. This income will be added to all 3 beneficiaries, and they will be paying tax. Second option can be, I can say, you don't have to pay to anyone. Any person who is in need of money, pay. If somebody not well, for medical, you pay whatever amount you feel appropriate. Somebody going for higher education, you pay like this. If somebody is getting married in a family, for boy, this much money, girl, this type of money. So, and discretion will be of the trustee. That trust is subject to maximum rate of tax. Means 30% tax, 37% surcharge on that, and 4% education tax. So finally, that work out to 43%, which Mukesh Ambani is paying at a rate of 43% because dividend income from Reliance only is 3,000 crore. So that trust having income of minimum even say 1 lakh rupee has to pay 43% tax. So what is the amendment? AOP also will not be paying surcharge more than 15%. So 15% cap is there even on AOP. Similar way, we make a capital gain. I told you capital gain also 20% plus 37% surcharge. If deal is more than 5 crore, 37% surcharge. Deal between 2 to 5, 25% surcharge. Deal is between 1 crore to 2 crore, 15% surcharge. So now there also they made a cap of 15% surcharge. So all the capital gain, whether property, jewelry, shares or whatever, surcharge will be not more than 15%. So that also give a big relief to the SSC. Extension of the last date of commencement of the manufacturing. We all know 2 years back there was amendment from any company which is formed after 1/10/2019 and start manufacturing, though were liable to pay tax at the rate of 15%. And their cutoff date was 31st March 2023. Now that period has been extended further up to 31st March 2024. Any company who want to form after 1/10/2019, it's because of the COVID, many persons are not able to start the construction. Start the manufacturing. So up to 31st March 2024, if they start the manufacturing, then they will be liable to pay tax only of 15% and not at 25% or 22%. Similar way for startup. Now, what is a startup? Any new idea you generate and register with the government. Recently, I've seen in the other one person has made one packet. In that packet, he used to keep one samosa, one batata vada, one idli, and some chutney of green chutney, some sauce, one paper napkin, and made little bit decorative, which nobody has thought of earlier. And that whole packet is selling for 45 rupee. And he wanted to register under startup, and he got the registration. So what is the benefit of startup? Benefit of startup is in next 10 years, any 3 years you can select continuous 3 years and you pay no tax. So that was also ending on 31st March 2022. That is further extended up to 31st March 2023. So any person who get it startup, their 3 years profit will be exempted. And of course, number of other benefits are there. Startup, when you bring the capital, any person contribute, they don't have to explain the source of the money. Any person who government give number of aids, number of benefits are there. The rate of GST, etc. also there is a benefit. But we are not dealing with GST. Just now we restrict to income tax only. As far as income tax is concerned, a block of 3 years out of next 10 years. Beginning you may make a losses. But whenever you start making profit, You can say my 7, 8, 9 year will be free. Or you can say 8, 9, 10 will be free. Or 5, 6, 7 will be free. Any block of 3 years you can select and you are not liable to pay any tax. Next point is rationalization of provision of Income Tax Act promote the growth of cooperative society. Now, cooperative society, we all know MAT have come. What is the MAT? Minimum alternate tax. This have come somewhere in 2003. And why it came? Because Reliance Industry was giving distribution dividend of thousands of crores to the shareholder. But when the question of income tax payment come, they said we are having losses because they adjust their accounts in such a way that because of depreciation and various allowances, tax point of view, income was nil. Then Government of India thought that once Reliance is distributing thousands of crores to their shareholder, they must contribute something to the national corpus for development of the country. And this started with 2.5%. Then later on increased to 5%, 10%. Then finally it was 18.5% plus surcharge, etc., etc. Last budget, they've reduced for the companies MAT from 18% to 15%. And cooperative society still were paying 18.5%. So now law is amended. A cooperative society also is liable to pay. When I say cooperative society, means sugar society and cooperative bank and those, not income, not a cooperative housing society. Housing society or mutuality come and not liable to tax. Then there also MAT have reduced to 15% now. Another important provision is IFSC, Tax Incentive for International Financial Services Center. Now this is what in last budget it have come, that all foreigners start a company in India. They call the foreign exchange from outside India, again give loan to the foreign company or Indian company, like SEZ, they will be doing business in India, in particular zone. It will be financial hub and it will be treated that they are doing business outside India. So no income tax will be applicable or no Indian law will be applicable to them. Earlier it was only clear-cut finance or discounting of check and this and that all were there. Now so same structure is there. More item has been added, derivative instrument, over-the-counter derivatives, ship, plane, and they will even they take on lease the plane or the ship and give on lease to other foreign company. Those transactions also they can do in this form of international financial services, and they will be not taxed in India. But they are not applicable to our medium say chartered account on a day-to-day basis. This normally apply to Big Four only. So we will not go into much detail, but there also number of amendments are there. We will discuss more which is applicable to us. Next item is incentive to do national pension system subscriber for the state government. Now, central government, many, we remember when I was a child of 9 or 10 year old, my Nani and Dadi always used to say, you must do the job in a government. तो मैं बोला दादी व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट? तो दो बेनिफिट है, एक तो रिटायरमेंट के बाद पेंशन मिलेगा और तनख्वाह के साथ में थोड़ा और भी पैसा मिलते जाएगा. वो उसको पता नहीं क्या दे यूज्ड टू मेक मनी एक्स्ट्रा, आई डोंट नो व्हाट दे यूज्ड टू कॉल, कि यू विल गेट सम मोर इनकम एवरी मंथ. गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट को मिलता है. So now I understood that must be the bribe she must be talking about, but they were all 90, 80 years old, so they were not understanding what is the bribe. So दो फायदा होगा. तो everyone wanted government job और बैंक जॉब. सो आपको रिटायर के बाद पेंशन और पहले आपका सैलरी. तो नाउ व्हाट हैपन, ए पर्सन वर्किंग इन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, their central government contribute 14% of their salary as a contribution to the pension fund. State government contribute only 10%. So in many times, like in income tax, central government employees are there, their contribution is 14%. At same time, security staff, cleaning staff, other staff, they are covered by state government. So their contribution is only 10% because they are not employees of the central government directly. They appoint outside agency and those are the covered under state government law. So central government officer feels superior than the inferior, than the state government employee. So now they made both at par. In both cases, it will 14% contribution by the government, whether it is state government or central government. That is amendment. And this amendment have taken place under section 80 CCD of Income Tax Act. So in both the situations, tax will be not there. Tax relief to person with a disability. Now let us take a situation. I have a handicapped child. I feel till I am alive, I will take care of the child. After me, my wife will take care. When both are not there, what will happen? If money is there, somebody will take care. If money itself is not there, then God knows what will happen to the child. So what many person do, they take a policy of insurance. And there are two types of policy. After my death or after death of my wife, the child will get lump sum amount or second type, he will get every month pension the child is alive. So both schemes are there. Now what is the amendment? This was already there and that amount was not subject to income tax. Now what is the amendment? Ki I am not dead, I am still alive. But if I get money after 6 years, 60, after attaining my age of 60, and money comes, and whatever way I want to give to child, or I make a trust for him, or whatever system I follow, which after my death also must continue. So that money, even money received after 60 years in my lifetime, will be all not taxable. So that item is added now for disabled person. After 60 also it is not taxable. Another important amendment, we all have seen COVID in last 2 years, COVID-19. Many persons passed away. In my 2 buildings where my office is situated, Nilkant and Niranjan, 20% passed away during the COVID in the last 2 years. And everywhere, things have happened like anything. Now, because of this, there are 3 major amendments in this. First amendment is, in case of a COVID, employer give any money for reimbursement of the expenses of the COVID expenses, then they are not subject to income tax. Many cases it go into crores of rupees. Let me give an example. In Taj Mahal Hotel, when bomb blast was there in Bombay, terrorist attack, one of my client was there. He himself was there. His wife was there. His daughter was there. His son was there, and his daughter-in-law was there. There was a birthday of some child son. So all 5% went to Taj to have a lunch, a dinner. Meantime, terrorist attack started. Police and security person or hotel staff were helping all the SSC. So father, mother, daughter, and daughter-in-law all have come out. Son was still inside. The mother have not liked, so she went back to the under. Security have stopped, but still she went to search for the son. And meantime, when mother went, father also go along with him. My wife क्या ढूंढेगी, किधर करेगी, और उसकी बेटी भी उसके साथ चली गई. खाली डॉटर इन लॉ बाहर रह गई, बाकी तो तीनों अंदर चले गए और एक बच्चा अंदर ही था पहले से. तो 4 अंदर, 1 बाहर, और अंदर से बम गोलियां चली और ये 4 में से 3 लोग मर गए. और फादर की डेथ हो गई वहां पे, माँ की डेथ हो गई, भाई की डेथ, बेटे की डेथ हो गई. बेटी को 80 गोलियां लगी उसके बॉडी पे और डॉटर इन लॉ बाहर रह गई. जब बेटी को हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट किया गया तो उसका 7 साल तक तो ऑपरेशन ही होता रहता है. टोटल 80 सर्जरी हुई. Taj Mahal Hotel spent more than 30 crore rupees on her in 10 years time. Now, of course, she is recovered 60-70%, but all rods are there in her whole body. Still, she can walk, she can talk, everything is there, but full body is of a rod only. 80 गोली किसको बोलते हैं? उसके बाद बचना ही बहुत बड़ी बात थी. So now, whole amount what Taj has given to her or spent for her is exempted, tax free, not taxable. Reimbursement of expenses. उसको बच्चा भी नहीं है, आया गया, खत्म हो गया. Similar way, COVID में any amount received is not taxable. It is 100% tax free. Similar way, because of COVID, if somebody passed away, death हो गया उसका, and if employer give the money, that also is exempted, not taxable. Money can run into crores of rupees. Here, let me give an example. One of my clients who is a builder, his general manager passed away due to COVID. His CFO passed away due to COVID. They all were chartered accountants. His purchase manager passed away due to COVID, and his sales manager passed away due to COVID. 4 of death हो गए. All 4 were staying in flats of a company where they were working. After death of a person, management had taken a call कि जैसे भी ये 4 फ्लैट उनको ही दे देते हैं उनके फैमिली को. And each flat is worth more than 5 to 7 crore rupees. A majority of flats are Bandra and Delhi. Now, question comes: if employer give this flat as a free, then employer will not get deduction and it will be treated income under section 56(2)(10) in hand of employees legal year. Because money given in a check, cash or check is tax free. If given in a kind is not tax free. Now here what happened, if builder give that flat worth 5 crore, legal year is liable to pay the tax. So what family have found, if they give a money, then it is not taxable. So my client will give 5 crore rupee or 7 crore rupee, depending upon the market value of the property, as a compensation to the legal heir because of death of a father. So this person will get 7 crore, which is tax free. Then he will sell this flat back to the legal heirs and take the money back as a sale value. And of course, then employer will get deduction of 5 crore Employee will not pay tax on 5 crore, and 5 crore will come back as a sale value, which is normally part of stock in trade. So that way, one can do the planning. But here what happened, any amount received from the employer is not taxable. Any other person give you, many charitable institutions, government, or any other person, up to 10 lakh, if they receive, no tax. So these were the three major amendments as far as the COVID relationship is concerned. Another important thing, rationalization of the provision of section 206AB and 206CCA of the Income Tax Act to widen the tax. Now, last time we have seen one important amendment. Any person who will not file the return of income and his TDS or TCS is more than 50,000 rupee and he has not filed the return, then in department point of view, he will be treated as a blacklisted person, and any person pay him any amount will deduct double TDS or minimum 5%. For example, I have not filed the return for last 2 years. My TDS is more than 50,000. Then a client who pay me the fees and deduct 10% TDS will deduct 20% now. Now that 2-year period has been reduced to 1 year now. That is the amendment. So further we have to be very careful in all the client where TDS is more than 50,000 rupee, we are supposed to file the return in time. Otherwise client ka TDS double ho jayega. And every year department issue a list, because in my own case, my firm Vimal Punmiya and Company was the partnership firm earlier, which has become proprietary firm. So I had 2 PAN numbers, one of partnership, one of proprietor. Partnership is dissolved, proprietor continues. And that partnership, when it is dissolved, so we stop filing the return and intimate to income tax. But meantime, I am not filed the return for 2 years. So my name has appeared in the blacklist. My client informed me that Vimal bhai, aapka naam to blacklist mein aa raha hai, Vimal Punmiya and Company. Then I went into site and seen that it was the PAN number of a partnership firm. So they are very particular. Every year they will issue a blacklist and TDS will be double. So whenever we make payment, our client make payment to any other person where TDS has to be deducted, first we have to make sure that the person is not in the blacklist, PAN number point of view. Now next item, item number 17, as per new section 194R, Income Tax Act 1961, benefit of perquisite provided to a resident carrying on business or profession shall be subject to TDS at the rate of 10%. Now, for example, I am an agent of one company. Company manufacturing say clothes. I am a dealer. And company say, Mr. Punmiya, if you purchase goods worth 1 crore, we will take you a foreign trip. Or we'll give you a small car as a gift. Or we'll give you 10% concession. Or we'll give you fridge or TV or whatever. As on today, company which gives it is a expenditure for them. Person who receive, nobody pays the tax on that. And things goes on. Now, what is the amendment? Any person give gift exceeding 20,000 rupee in the form of foreign visit or car or cash or kind or whatever, he is supposed to deduct 10% TDS. Any person who receive because of the business relationship, because he will not take me foreign if I am not his dealer. He will not give me car if I am not his dealer. So I am getting those items because of relationship. Then under section 28(4), this amount will be added to my income, provided it is permitted in law. That is again rider. Like for example, all pharma companies, if you have taken a time from doctor, let us say one doctor visit time is 11 to 1, and he is giving you time at 1 o'clock. You are last patient, and when you come out, you will see half a dozen salesmen are waiting outside cabin of this doctor, and they are all agent of pharma company. One by one, all goes, and they give lot of medicine to doctor. They give gift also and request him to recommend my medicine. And that sometimes the gift run into thousands. And some company give even commission or what do you call refund of the sale value to the doctor. So nobody, it was going on. So now what is the amendment? Under the medical policy, no company can give such gift to the doctor. So if still company is giving, this will be not allowed as a revenue expenditure in their hand. So it will expenditure will be disallowed under section 37. At the same time, TDS will be there at the rate of 10% if amount exceed more than 20,000 rupee. Again, doctor has to show this income under section 28(4) as a perquisite. So these are the consequently 3 amendments. Here, remind me of one example. I was working earlier with one leading firm of D.M. Harris and Company. When son of Mr. D.M. Harris, Anil Harris, got married in 1984, Mr. Harris got gift worth more than 3 crore rupee in form of diamond jewelry, gold jewelry, cash, check, everywhere. And he credited the books of account. Money was received proper from Gwalior Maharaja, Udaipur Maharaja, they were all his client. And then ITO said that this 3 crore worth of gift received by Mr. D.M. Harish, not because his son got married, but because of his status, because of son of D.M. Harish got married. Had Mr. D.M. Harish was an ordinary person, nobody will give him a gift of 3 crore. When even Mr. D.M. Harish got married himself, he got gift worth not more than 1 lakh or 50,000 rupees. So 3 crore he got because of his son got married, and son of D.M. Harish, who is the leading advocate. That was the main point. So ITO made addition under section 28(4), all the amount in hand of Mr. D.M. Harish. Of course, appeal were filed. He was very senior chartered advocate that time, and he got a relief from the tribunal. But what I want to convey is because of a status, if you are getting some gift, for example, I am a chartered accountant, or because of my CA profession, on account of Diwali, some client come and give me one gold chain, which is worth 50,000 rupees, or maybe worth, for example, 10 tola ka chain dega, to samjho worth ho gaya 5 lakh rupiya. So that is, he's not giving me as a friend or Diwali customary. He is giving me because of my relationship. So that amount I have to show as a perquisite under section 28(4). And that formula applies everywhere. That's what I want to say. So there TDS will be also applicable. Expenditure will be allowed only if it is not polluted by the law. And this item will be allowed. And then a receiver will also show income under the 28(4). TDS provision will also apply. This will not apply only to those person, payer, if their turnover is less than 50 lakh in individual, professional person, individual or HUF, and business 1 crore. If their accounts are not subject to audit, then TDS will be not applicable. Otherwise, TDS also will be applicable at the rate of 10% if amount is only more than 20,000. All other SSC and individual and HUF also, if their accounts are subject to the audit. Then next point, opinion of the assessee trust to treat voluntary contribution as a corpus donation received from the donor in respect of the repair or renovation of temple, mosque, church and Gurudwara. Now, majority of church, mosque, Gurudwara and temple are in dilapidated condition. Many persons come together, they say, we want to give you a donation, you spend on this item, repair or renovation. Whatever money is received, trust has to spend only on that object. They cannot deviate that fund and spend on somewhere else. And that money is to be kept as a corpus, and they will to spend in a 5 years' time. Then, of course, no tax. If they divert to some other person, money received for the repair of the temple, and it is spent for the welfare of some staff or some general public, that is not permitted. Received for the repair purpose, it is for repair purpose only. Now, in case, for example, 5 years, my repair work is not over, then they can apply to the commissioner for further extension of 5 years by fund number 10. If you spend in 1 year itself, then of course no fund number 10 is applicable. The money received is spent matter chapter over. Even if not spent on very first year, they have to apply to the High Commissioner and in fund number 10, if we will spend this money within 5 years. If you not spend in 5 years, you apply for further extension of 5 years. And if you don't apply for further extension, in the end of a 5th year, you have to pay the tax. So that is the amendment, and money has to be used only for that purpose. Window for filing modified return of successor entity. Many company, they merge with some another company. Now what happened? Company A want to merge with company B. Now naturally amalgamation scheme has been formed. They apply to High Court for approval. And High Court normally take their 1.5 years to 2 years for giving you order. Meantime, they are not sure whether High Court will give approval or not. So both company file their return individually. After High Court give order after 2 years, they give with retrospective effect 1 year back or 2 years back. Now, so that is to be merged. Though under this new return scheme, whatever come modified return, the company can file the modified return under the scheme for last 2 years by merging both the profit. And whatever tax is paid individually by both the company, we can get set off. Rate of tax is same, so no effect of tax will come in the picture. So there also facility has been given that those company can file the return. No fresh prosecution proceedings shall be initiated under section 276AB on or after 1/4/2020. If your TDS amount involved is less than 1 lakh of rupee and default is less than 1 year, then department will not lodge any fresh prosecution. Today, even default of 4,000, I've seen many cases prosecution has been lost. And once prosecution has been lost, it's run for 20 years. So now, if default is less than 1 lakh, period is less than 1 year, you are paid within 1 year with the interest, then no prosecution will be lodged by the department. Then you have to give effect to the TPO's order. Now today what happened? Transfer pricing officer passed the order. And AO has already passed the order before that. Let us say transfer pricing officer passed the order. AO has given effect of that and raised a demand. And later on you point out some mistake to the TPO. And TPO rectify that order. Pass revised order. There is no provision in Income Tax Act that ITO can give effect of that revised order of TPO. So law is amended now and effect can be given within 2 months by the assessing officer. Now from till to the 1 hour, what I discussed, what was in favor of SSC. Now I am shifting to what is against the SSC and what are the general provision. I hope my voice is clear and there is no problem. Correct, sir? Okay. Now, the first unfavorable point is new section 79A, non-adjustment of loss or unabsorbed depreciation against undisclosed income detected as a result of search and requisite of survey. Now, survey is conducted on SSC. Search is conducted on SSC. Unaccounted cash, jewelry, investment found or expenditure incurred, they are found. So, ITO make addition under section 68 as far as income is concerned, 69 unaccounted expenditure is concerned. Now, till today, what was the law? For example, ITO made addition of 10 crore rupee. And I have a business loss of the current year to the extent of 10 crore rupee. Or carry forward losses of the extent of 10 crore rupee. This was adjusted against this and I was not liable to pay the tax. Now amendment is, if any addition is made under section 68, then I'm liable to pay tax at the rate of 60%. Surcharge on then 25% means it will be 75% now. 3% super education cess at the rate of 4% on 75%. So 78%. Minimum penalty 100% to 108%. And here it was only 30%. Now, if any addition is made under section 68 or 69 due to survey or search, that loss profit cannot be adjusted against any loss of the current year or carry forward. I have to pay tax on this amount and loss will be carried forward separately. That is a very serious amendment, an important amendment. The second, in order to expand the restriction against the non-compliance among the taxpayer, it is proposed to amend the section 271 AAB, 271 AAC, 271 AAD by enabling the commissioner appeal to levy penalty. Now today what happened? ITO make the addition. After making the addition, we file appeal before CIT appeal. Whatever addition CIT appeal have 3 rights. Either he can confirm, he can delete, or he can enhance also. Now today law is that in case CIT appeal enhance the amount, then he can levy or he can rather initiate penalty proceeding on the enhanced amount. What ITO has not initiated penalty. If ITO initiated, then the question will not even come. For example, ITO made addition, but penalty he thought he not leviable, or he don't initiate also. Maybe knowingly or by mistake. Then till today, commissioner had no power to initiate that penalty which ITO has not made. Till commissioner pass another order for enhancement. If ITO made addition of 5 crore, commissioner want to make it 10 crore, then extra 5 crore, whatever addition commissioner has made, on that he can initiate penalty proceeding. Now, what is the amendment? If ITO missed something and commissioner appeal is assessment of a continuation of assessment proceedings, then he can initiate even those penalty which ITO is not initiated or forgotten. So that is another serious. In all the sections of penalty, commissioner can initiate and later on levy also. Then friends, penalty under section 272 1AB increased from 100 to 500. Now what happened? My assessment is going on. ITO issued summon to me. He is and I'm not going before him. Then he can levy penalty from 10,000 to 25,000 for each default. Let us say a case of some another builder is going on, and I have given him a loan of 1 crore to that builder. Builder officer won't verify my loan, so he issued some 133(6) notice to me, and he want my income tax return ka copy, balance sheet copy, profit loss account copy, and my bank account, and he want to verify. Now builder has not paid me interest for last 2 years. I feel that if I not file this return, my assessment is not going to be affected. Additional will be there in the builder's case. So one day, assessing officer will inform builder, and builder will come to me, and I will dictate my term, will pay my interest. Such a default is also my default. If I don't, I to ask me the detail, I don't give. Earlier penalty was 100 rupee per day. Now it will be 500 rupee per day. So that is another amendment. Section 179 is the liability of a director of a private limited company. We have two types of company. One is a limited company. One is a private limited company. As far as limited company is concerned, directors are not liable. Whatever company assets are there, they can be recovered. Whatever money shareholders are given to the company, whatever money directors are invested in the company, to the extent, of course, money can go. Otherwise, we don't have to bring any money from home and pay to the company's liability. As far as private limited company is concerned, their directors are liable under section 179, provided the department prove there was a misconduct or mismanagement by the management directors. Then, of course, director is personally liable. Now, let us take situation. What is the misconduct and mismanagement? If ITO made certain addition, I am supposed to file appeal as the director of the company, but I have not filed the appeal of the company. It is my misconduct. I have not managed affairs properly. It's mismanagement. Then I am liable. Now, today, what is the law? Money can be recovered from the director by passing the 179 order. Of course, that is an appealable order. You can go under 264 to commissioner. You can file it in the High Court. Number of provisions are there. But assuming department can recover from tax, interest, and penalty from me, they cannot recover any late fees, or they cannot recover any fees paid by department on behalf of the SSC to a chartered accountant for a special audit. Such amount cannot be recovered. In that process, if that company is merged with another company, if the company, original company is dead, or the company may wind up procedure started, or the company is closed one way or other, then also nobody can recover from the company, because you can't recover from the dead person. If you cannot recover from the company, you cannot recover from directors also. Because if company is liable, then only director is liable. Then that situation, if company is dead, the company is not liable. Now their law amendment is there. Earlier it was known as a liability of the company. Now word is substituted, liability of a director of a private company. So now once 79 order is passed, this is not become liability of the company, but a direct liability of a director of a private limited company. So even company dissolved, company wound up, still director is liable. But if director also dies, then matter end. If both company dead, director dead, then chapter Bhagwan process. Then friends, penalty for passing an unreasonable benefit to trustee. Now here let me give you example. There are two types of trusts. One, charitable trust, family trust different. Section 11 and 12, which is registered under section 12 AA now, and trust under section 1023C6. That is for education and medical purposes. So those trusts which are registered for the purpose of medical and education purposes, those trusts were not liable to file a return in past. Those trusts were not subject to maintain your accounts and not liable to get account audited 5-10 years back. Then after some time, they say they're supposed to get accounts audited, and they simply have to file the return. And up to 5 crore turnover, even they don't file the return, no problem. More than 5 crore turnover, they have to file the return. But as far as trust registered under section 11 and 12, they are supposed to maintain books of accounts. They are supposed to file the return, maintain proper record, and number of conditions are there, 85% and 15% and this and that, which will not go into detail, which already know. So now what is amendment? Section 1023C cases, where only medical and education is there, their number of amendments have come. They try to bring at 11 and 12. Till today, many cases are there where person trust is registered first under section 11 and 12. After that, they go to commission under section 1023C and get it registered there also. Trust is one only, registered at both the places. Now under the amendment, one trust will be registered under one category only. You have to select, if you are dealing in a medical and education, then what you want to select under 1023. If you are not from the medical and education, then you have no choice, 10, 11 and 12. But if you are medical and education, you don't want to go under 1023, you can still register under 11 and 12. 11, 12 is very wide. 1023C is only for education and medical. Only two areas. Both the trust, 11, 12 already provisions are there. If I give extra benefit to the trustee, my child is also studying in the same school. Normally, other student paying fees of 1 lakh. I pay only 50,000. The 11, 12 trust is registered. It was not allowed. I cannot give extra benefit to trustee. But as far as to 1023 is concerned, it was allowed there. Now there is amendment. 1023 also cannot give extra benefit to trustee. I'm not well. I'm admitted in hospital. Trustee registered 1112. They have to charge me the same amount. But in 1023, even they charge me concession amount, it was allowed. Now it is not allowed. Both are at par now. And now under the all trust, they have to make application for fresh registration by 31st March 2022. They have to decide first they want to go under category 1 or category 2. And accordingly, fresh application will be made. Fresh registration certificate will come. Moment and ATG also fresh will come. Moment you file the application, automatically you get a registration. After getting provisional registration, within 6 months they will investigate and give you the final registration. And once you get the final registration, then that becomes final. So now two category, one has to select, and now slowly audit accounts is increasing in 1023 CA also. Explanation inserted in section 14A. Now 14A we all know. 14A means any income you are earning which is exempted. You are not liable to pay the tax, like share of partnership firm, agriculture income, earlier dividend was there. Such income, to earn such income, if you spend any money, that amount is not allowable as expenditure. That was the law earlier. Some judgment account from High Court, ITO can disallow the expenditure only to the extent of income. I borrowed 5 crore rupee, paying interest at the rate of 12%. Me, I paying 60 lakh rupee by way of interest. I invested everything in the agricultural land, and my income is only coming to 5 lakh rupee from agriculture. Expenditure is only 60 lakh. Then ITO cannot disallow more than 5 lakh. That was the law as per the court judgment. So my 55 lakh interest will be allowed as expenditure by against other income. I borrowed 5 crore, invested in partnership firm. Share of partnership firm is free. Interest I earned, say for example, share of partnership firm is 10 lakh. Interest I paid is 60 lakh. My 50 lakh will be allowed against other item. Now law is amended. Ki even I have not earned anything or earned some limited amount, all expenditure will be not allowed if they are incurred exclusively for earning the exempted income. So for example, agricultural income received by 5 lakh rupee, and for the old law, for 55 lakh was allowed by expenditure against other income. Now no expenditure will be allowed. 55 lakh will be not allowed to me now. It will be disallowed, and I'm liable to pay tax on my other income only to the extent of 5 crore. 5 lakh agricultural income will be adjusted against the 60 lakh. So that is the amendment. 14A, it will be not restricted to the income of, to the extent of income what you earn, but it will be whatever genuine expenditure you incurred will be not allowed. Insertion of new section 115, taxation of virtual asset. Now we must have heard this cryptocurrency nowadays. I think I heard that the cryptocurrency accounts are more than Demat account in India, but they are running from foreign country. So many clients are asking question whether now cryptocurrency is regularized or is still not regularized. In my view, after this amendment, it is regularized, in my personal view. Now, what is the cryptocurrency? Virtual assets not banned, but now have been regulated by India. So virtual asset, like we are having a virtual, you are not, we are virtual, we are seeing face of each other, but physically I am not there. You are sitting in Veena Road. So it is a virtual meeting. So cryptocurrency also is a virtual currency. RBI to come up with their own digital rupee via blockchain. So RBI will bring some circular and bring their own digital currency. If you in digital currency, if any transaction take place, if I'm selling some say currency to you for what 1 crore rupee, then you will deduct 1% TDS and balance you will pay to me. So 19 lakh only you will pay me, 1 crore you will deduct TDS and pay to the government. Normally when we deduct TDS of somebody else, we need 10 number. For this purpose, 10 number is not required. Like when you purchase the property, we file challan with only with the PAN number. Similar, and no, we don't have to file any return later on quarterly or half yearly. So digital currency also, that type of 1% will be deducted, paid to the government, and no filing return, etc. No 10 number required. Any expenditure incurred to earn this income of digital currency will be not allowed as expenditure. Only basic cost will be allowed. I purchased the digital currency for 50 lakh rupees, sold for 75 lakh. Instead, my 25 lakh will be taxable. No set off and carry forward of losses. For example, normal business, I incurred a loss of 50 lakh. Digital currency, I made a profit of 50 lakh. I want to adjust the loss. I cannot do that. I have to pay tax on 50 lakh income on digital at the rate of 30%, not slab wise. It is state with 30%, and the loss will be carried forward to other years. Gifting of virtual currency. For example, I have purchased original currency worth 5 lakh rupee. Today it become worth 5 crore rupee. I feel I want to give gift to my wife and children. Yes, under section 56 to 10, all relative which is allowed, it will be not clubbed, gift will be allowed. But as far as I give to my friends, relative, and person who is not covered in this, this will be added to their income under section 56 to 10, and they are supposed to pay tax on that. So this way, the few amendments are there. So I personally feel that slowly, in few months' time, things will be clear, and this cryptocurrency will be regularized, because India is not of India of 1970 or 80. After 1991, number of changes have taken place. We are at an international figure. We have to compare with the foreign countries. So we cannot say a digital currency of USA will be not binding, or UK will be not binding. Everything is will be binding. So when India itself come with a digital currency, RBI, and then you can't say, if we will not recognize their currency, they will not recognize our currency. So finally, it will be regularized slowly. Provision relating to section 68. Today, what is the law? If I borrow, say, money 1 crore rupee from Mr. A, and my income tax officer asks, and Mr. A give me confirmation, his bank account, his balance sheet, his profit and loss account, A is confirming, ITO issue summon, and A go before ITO and he say, yes, I give loan to Mr. Punmiya 1 crore. My ITO cannot proceed further. I am not supposed to explain source of a source. But what is the amendment now? ITO can ask source of a source also, from where A got the money. So that source also now at earlier he used to ask. Then few years back, Bombay High Court has decided, Supreme Court has decided, if once creditor confirmed, the department cannot go further. If some suspicious is there, they can make addition in their account. But as far as shares of company is concerned, 2 years back law was amended. In case of a private limited company or company held by limited persons, their source of source can be asked. Public limited company where shares are subscribed all over India, their source of source cannot be asked. But now, even in the case of a loan, advances against any receipt or sales of property also, source of source can be asked. And only 3 exemptions are there. If the other party is recognized by the SEBI, registered venture fund, or normal venture fund, there I don't have to prove source of source. But even you take a loan from the bank, a bank is the government body, there also we have to prove source of source. But I feel that for bank is concerned, some circular will come. Bonus stripping dividend. Now we all know what is bonus stripping. Like for example, I know company A is going to declare bonus share. Today market value 1,000 rupee. I purchase a share in 1,000. After 10 years, bonus is declared. 10 days bonus is declared. And immediately one share is to 1 share, for example. So now I'm holding, even I purchase 1 share, but I'm holding 2 shares now. Value in market will go down. 1,000 will come to 600. I share that one first share at 600. My second is a bonus free. First share I purchased for 1,000, sold for 600. The 400 is my loss, which I can adjust against other gain of the shares. So such transaction was known as dividend stripping. And my share value of 1,000 will be treated after bonus is declared within 3 months. Will be treated that I purchased 2 shares of 1,000. So each one will be taken at 500 costs. And my sale is 1 share is sold is 600. Cost is 500. 100 rupees will be taxed. Now that provision will also apply now to some other areas, which earlier which was only for shares and those cases. Now that will apply. I will tell you 3 more items has been added now. Unit of infrastructure investment, real estate investment trust, alternate investment fund. So 3 category also has been added now, dividend stripping. So one should be careful, and these items will be further added. Honorable Finance Minister, through the budget 2022, has issued clarification regarding deduction on payment of interest only on actual payment. Now we know under 43B, GST, TDS, bank interest, municipal taxes, these items are allowed only in case we pay the money. Simply making the book entry, we cannot claim expenditure, it will disallow. And as an auditor in tax audit, we also point out under 43B, these are the disallowable items. As far as bank interest is concerned, what happened? Many earlier law was, for example, I have to pay 50 lakh rupees to the bank interest on account of interest. I have no money. So I request my bank to give me a loan of another 50 lakh. treat my original loan of 3 crore as 3 crore 50 lakh now, and treat this amount as interest, and now next time you charge me interest on 3.5 crore. So that was treated as a constructive payment. Now amendment is that by increasing the loan, if I show as a payment of interest, that will be not allowed. I have to get the loan 50 lakh in my bank account. I have to issue check to the other party, and that if payment is made, then only it will be treated as a payment of interest. Otherwise, it will be disallowed. So I really entry has to be there in by check. A consequence to interest for failure to deduct collection or payment of tax under section 201 and 206 of the Income Tax Act. Now, in case of TDS, not deducting TDS, when interest is 1%. Deducting and not paying is 1.5%. That is TDS is concerned. As far TCS is concerned, they said TDS is old law. Everyone knows about TDS. Many person don't know, understand about TCS. So TCS, when they say not deducting is 1%, deducting and not paying also is 1%. So that is little bit regularized now. Next point, TDS on sale of immovable property. I told you 1% on a market value and not on an agreement value now. Agreement value or market value. Market value means stamp duty value, whichever is higher. I given you example earlier. 50 lakh agreement value, I'm not liable. But market value is 55 lakh as per stamp duty. I have to deduct TDS and pay to the government. Mandatory to file return within time limit for claiming exemption. Both charitable trusts registered under 1112 or under section 1023C, they have to file return now within a time. If they make the default in filing the return, no benefit will be given to them and they will be subject to income tax. If government extend the date because of something, that is different thing. Otherwise, they are supposed to file return in time. Earlier 1023C section cases were not even liable to file the return. But now all have to file the return, both the type of trust. Calculation of income tax trust institution claiming exemption under the 10 and 12 when they fail to comply any of the provision necessary to claim exemption under section 10. So they have to spend 85%, 15% they can accumulate. They have to make application to the commissioner for 10 more than 15% they want accumulation. It will be carried for 5 years. You do spend in 5th year. If you don't spend, then you can apply for another 5 years. Or otherwise, you are liable to pay tax in the end of a 5th year. So if you not made application under section 10 before filing the return, then also your claim will be not entertained. And whatever surplus is there, you are supposed to pay the tax. So all formalities, all compliances should be very, very particular now in case of trust. Amendment in subsection 1A of section 35A. Whenever we give donation under section 35 or 80G, the charitable trust is supposed to file one return with the income tax department. Not income tax return, but they have to give detail of the donation, what they receive in annual information form. And if that they file, then automatically that amount will appear in my AIR or 26AS, wherever it is applicable. And then only ITO will allow me the deduction of 35 or deduction of 80G. If trust has not filed that, I will not get deduction. Then no deduction shall be allowed to a donor if donor fail to furnish the estate, not donation. Same thing. Then friends, point number 16, order passed by transfer pricing officer are also subject to provision. Today, any order passed by transfer pricing officer, commissioner had no power to cancel under section 263. Now that law is amended. Power has been given to commissioner. If order is produced to the revenue, erroneous order, then commissioner has power to pass that order under section 263. Reduction of goodwill from the block of asset to the deemed of consider. Now last time we know goodwill में depreciation is not allowed now. Now if goodwill for him I feel कि goodwill depreciation मिलता नहीं है, अभी क्या करने का, write off करो इसको. So I write off the goodwill amount in partners account or profit and loss account or reserve account. Then it will be amount to, or I transfer from fixed assets to the current assets, then or investment. This will be treated as a transfer. And the market value of goodwill is more than the book value, then I'm supposed to pay income tax on that. So that is the amendment. Punishment with prosecution has now been extended to person failing to pay any tax calculation at source to the credit to government. So now earlier what happened? If you are not deducted tax and not paid, in that cases they are not lodging much prosecution because party normally pay after at the time of filing the return, the other party for whom you are not supposed to deduct, you not deducted. So he will not claim set off when he will pay the tax. So I will like now if I deducted and not paid, prosecution law become very strong. And earlier this was applicable only to TDS. Now it will apply to TCS also. So TCS may no prosecution was not till today. Now power has been given. If somebody deducted and not paid, prosecution laws in case of TCS also. Now friends, we will cover few cases of general amendment, what has happened. Then we'll take the time permit, question answer also. Sir, I'm comfortable. I'm not boring you or something like that.
No, very comfortable, sir.
Oh, very good. Sir.
Yes.
Because of course all persons are there, nobody left, so I thought it is okay.
It is very interesting.
Section 44B, faceless assessment. Now, faceless assessment, you all know, have come on 13th of August 2020. Faceless appeal have come on 25th of August, 25th of September 2020. And to make the procedure simple, of course, because it's the new law, so many technical mistakes were there. In the completing assessment, ITO has to follow certain procedure. Faceless also, they were following certain procedure, but still there were many gaps was there. So to regularize, they made certain amendment. Nothing more complicated. Note first amendment, to rationalize the provision relating to assessment and reassessment, rationalizing the provision of charitable trust and institution in order to bring between the first and second. So for charitable trust, procedure part, earlier say ITO has to issue notice. Like for example, ITO issue notice under 148. Then hearing a notice issued by some another officer because of change of encumbrances, the change of officer. So that becomes bad in law, because another officer also must issue the 148 and then he can record this. So that way many orders were there. So here they have taken power. He even return is filed faceless. You don't know officer. Normally notice is to be issued by your assessing officer. But faceless, I myself don't know who is my officer. So any officer in India can issue notice. In appeal is also same procedure. So that way these technical amendments are there. Payment to specified person. So same in charitable trust has given more money to some benefit, then they are liable to pay interest and penalty. Now accrued under section 115 TD. Connect with, I will not discuss more. Point number 5. Normally income tax, surcharge, they are not allowable expenditure with debit over capital account. But few High Court have given decision that 4% cess what we pay, education and medical cess. That is the expenditure. That is not the tax. Tax means basic tax and surcharge. So few High Court have allowed that amount as a revenue expenditure. Bombay High Court, of course, Goa bench, Rajasthan High Court, or one or two High Courts are there. Delhi High Court are against us. So now law is amended. Education cess is also part of income tax and will be not allowed. So that of course, and this amendment is with retrospective effect from assessment in 5/6. So person who succeeded in High Court now he will lose all. Clarification on allowance of expenditure under section 37, explanation 1 of subsection 1 of section 37. Now actually what is that? Earlier to 2000, all expenditure, whatever you incur to earn the income was allowed. Even Tata Tea used to pay commission to Naxalities by check and claim as expenditure. And Bombay High Court allowed even that. Tata is to carry on that business in that area, they have no choice. Many builders used to pay protection money to Dawood Ibrahim or Chota Rajan. Even that was allowed. 2000 law is amended. Anything you pay against the public policy is not allowed. A bribe given to the officer or municipal department or minister to get particular plan passed, it was not allowed. It is against the public policy. But cash paid by the builder, one case have come to me a few years back, Oswal Builders of Bhinder. And there he paid money to the landlord, not record any books of accounts, but against the cash money what he received on sale, he adjusted against that. He paid money to the laborer, to the architect, to a chartered accountant, to the metal dealer, all. And during the course of such, it was found ITO disallowed. He paid in a case against the public policy. Matter went to the tribunal, and tribunal said nothing against the public policy. They purchased the material and cement. What is wrong? Under the section, 30% you disallowed, and it was allowed. After 2000, some case of Indo came, Rama came, Color came have come before Bombay High Court. They used to pay secret commission account. Any person who purchased color, which is used for the textile industry, and the purchase manager is not paid 1 rupee per tin, then the goods will be rejected. So they used to pay, and the customer is going on for last 50 years. And they used to debit also in a profit loss account under head general expenditure, secret commission account. ITO कहता है डिटेल दो, मेरा डिक्टेट तो नहीं देगा, सीक्रेट है मेरा. If I give detail, then the manager will not buy goods from me. So they never used to give detail. ITO disallow, matter went up to High Court. The High Court said, if the customer in nature, last 59 years you allowed this amount, suddenly what has happened? If you paid in a cash, you disallow 30%. Paid by check, then what is the problem? And so this was allowed. Now what is the amendment? Earlier law was anything paid against the Indian liable under, not allowed or rather prohibited under Indian Penal Code, against the public policy, like a bribe, then such amount is not allowable. But verdict was, first section says the Income Tax Act apply only to India. Now law is amended, any expenditure incurred even outside India against the public policy, but income is shown in India. Because of non-resident, many amendments have taken place last time, which will not go into that detail, that take long period. So such expenditure incurred even outside India, which is against the public policy, also will be not allowed. And whole gross amount will be taxable. So what was the earlier allowed in India, now applicable to outside India also. For I am doing business in India. I am paying income tax in India. My income is 100 crore. 10 crore I spend in India against the public policy, which will be disallowed. I also paid 10 crore outside India. That also will be disallowed from next year onwards. Then claim of any expenditure incurred in providing various benefit and violation, same thing, that expenditure will be not allowed now. Anything against the public policy, whether incurred in India or incurred outside India. One important amendment, dividend income. Now we all know dividend we have to show in the income is the gross. It will be added to my income. TDS what deducted, I will get set off. And slab wise, we know surcharge 37% or 25% or whatever percentage. Now, if I receive dividend from the foreign country, there also procedure was said what I receive in India. Their little amendment is there. If, for example, I receive dividend from Singapore. Say I receive dividend of 1 lakh rupee. Singapore mein rate of tax is 20%. So they deduct 20%, they give me 80,000. If there is a TT between government of India and Singapore, then I have to show the TT will be that whatever tax I pay there, I get set off here. Any Singaporean pay tax in India, he gets set off there. Then I will to show 1 crore is income, the 1 lakh is income, work out the tax, 20,000 paid, I get set off. Whatever forms are required, I file that and close the matter. Let us assume that Singapore have no TT with the Indian government. Then I will not get set off of 20,000. Then I don't have to show 1 lakh, I have to show only 80,000 as income. And on that, I already paid 20% there, but I'm not claiming here and I'm not showing other income. If I show as income, then definitely tax is not 100%. I will be paying some less amount. So to give compensate them, they say dividend received from foreign country. If TT is not there, I'm not allowed set off of TDS. At the same time, I'm not showing as income also that particular part. Then my tax will be only 15% and not regular rate of tax. So that concession has been given. Transfer property, the now assessment, today we know all assessments are faceless, except central circle and transfer pricing cases, international taxation. Now international taxation also will become faceless from 1st April 2023, and maybe down the line after 1 year, central circle also may become faceless. Income tax appellate tribunal was going to become faceless from 1st April 2023. They extended 1 more year. By 1st April 2024, it will be faceless. Appeal will be filed faceless. You file a written submission, tribunal will decide. If you want a hearing, you request them. Then member will come. One judge may be sitting in Calcutta, second may be in Bangalore, department advocate may be in Delhi, I will be in Bombay. और सबके सामने मास्क लगाना पड़ेगा कंपल्सरी. कोविड चले जाएगा फिर मास्क रहेगा अपना, और मास्क अपने को लगा के बताने का they cannot recognize your face and it will be all faceless. तो ये भी डे बाय डे जो काफी अच्छा हो रहा है. करप्शन तो खत्म ही हो गया प्रैक्टिकली. मोदी जी ने जब फेसलेस लेके आया, पहले तो अपने को ऑफिसर स्कूटी के लिए भी पैसा लेता था, और स्कूटी में आया भी 10-20 हजार रुपया देने का, ये दैट वाज देयर. But now, after Modi ji taken over, things have improved like this. And at least corruption at income tax officer level and commissioner appeal level, wherever faceless है, I think 99% खत्म हो गया है. 1% अभी भी चल रहा है थोड़ा बहुत, बाकी खत्म हो चुका है. Slum sale जो अपन करते हैं, earlier there was a rule कि for example I have given my business to somebody else I have taken over his business, and net amount के ऊपर ही tax लगता था without considering any market value. Then later on it has come to notice कि भाई नहीं market value पे tax लगेगा. And both party will pay the tax because I also given my business, he has sold his business. अभी अमेंडमेंट फर्दर आ गया है स्लम सेल के लिए, एनी मोड ऑफ ट्रांसफर, अर्लियर वर्ड वाज सेल, तो सेल में मतलब इफ यू एक्सचेंज विद समबडी एल्स यू आर नॉट लायबल टू पे द टैक्स, इट इज नॉट सेल. So any mode of transfer, whether it is sale, exchange, relinquishment to right, all will be treated as a part of slum sale, and accordingly tax will work out based on a market value. 148A में earlier last time the law amended, they say 148 will be reopened. 148A so-called notice will come only in audit objection come from CAG, or no other reason was there. But now they say any observation of tribunal, any observation of High Court, any observation of Supreme Court, any survey under 133A, any search under 132, foreign jurisdiction information received from Indian other body like GST, DRA, etc., or received from a foreign country, or any treaty, all will be treated the information. And from all the information it comes to know, I conceal something in last 3 years, any amount. Earlier to that, 50 lakh per year, then ITO can reopen. First 3 years, he will reopen with the permission of the principal commissioner. Earlier to that, 7 years, he will reopen with the principal chief commissioner. In case of a raid or survey, for 3 years, he can reopen without the commissioner of principal approval. 148, 10 he will apply not only to SSC are there, but earlier they were ruled that ITO can reopen a 3 year to earlier 7 years only if we find tangible asset in form of cash, jewelry, unaccounted investment, a bullion, like that way. Now they say any expenditure is also found more than 50 lakh rupees. My son got married, my daughter got married, I renovated my flat, I renovated my office, I visited foreign, and any other expenditure declared you found more than 50 lakh, not only income side, expenditure side also, which I cannot explain, my cases can be reopened. If ITO is taken, issued a notice without approval of appellate authority, only they asking a reason, detail, and I file all the paper, then he want to issue under 148, then he need approval of commissioner. But for example, issuing first notice only he taken approval of commissioner, then second time again he did not take, same approval will continue for a particular year. Such case will be like regular assessment. Now today in such cases ITO you compute for earlier 6 years under regular assessment under 153C, 153A, 153B, 153C, like that way. Now it will be under 148A only, and only for 3 years. 50 lakh से ज़्यादा माल मिला तो 10 years. Order of NCLT, etc. binding. Today, for example, demand is 25 crore. Person go to NCLT, and NCLT से उसके बाद fund ही नहीं है. He cannot give more than 50%. And NCLT pass the order, चलो income tax का 25 crore के सामने 12.5 crore दे दो. So income tax officer is not binding NCLT order के साथ वो effect देवे. Now law is provided कि any other body, central government body, pass the order reducing the tax liability. Of course, that the limitation number of criteria will be there. Then it is binding on officer, and officer will reduce the demand. Then old company owned by central government. Now Modi ji is selling many companies, Adani, Ambani, this, that, all are. Air India is sold recently now. Any company where management is transferred to the extent of more than 51%, then earlier carry forward losses will be not allowed to be carried forward. That is the law as on today. Now what is the amendment? Is somebody buy your shares and he buy to the extent of 51%. One person buy to the extent of 51%. Then losses will be allowed to be carried forward. Like Tata have purchased Air India. Tata Trust have taken more than 51% of Air India. So whatever loss of Air India will be allowed to be carried forward because 51% is still 1% is holding. And वो loss खत्म नहीं होगा. Friends, I think thank you very much. अभी 10-15 मिनट बचा है, आपका सवाल जवाब होगा तो जवाब दे दूंगा, नहीं है तो बहुत बढ़िया. Thank you very much for patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful session. We do have one question in the chat box, which I will be reciting. People who may have question can raise your virtual hand. यहाँ पे option है. I will unmute you so that you can ask the question. CA Vikas Jain has his hand up. First question, just I'll ask from the comment box, is by CA Ravi Jain. Sir, he asks, sir, compensation received by individual from their employers for treatment of illness related to COVID-19 pandemic will be exempt from tax. Does it mean that even if 5 crore is received by the SSE, it must be spent on treatment and not bought property to be eligible for exemption?
This reimbursement of expenses is exempted. So if you spend and recover, then yes. If you have recovered only and patient is not dead, is still alive, then of course it will be taxable. If I spend the money, then employer reimburse me, exempted.
So spending the money is important.
Very yes.
Okay, well taken. Now I have CA Vikas Jain who has his hand up. I'll allow him to speak. Okay, sir, I've allowed you to speak. You may
Yeah,
ask.
hello.
Yeah.
Audible? Yeah, my question was that like in that dividend stripping case, now you mentioned. So in that you have says about dividend stripping case, but you have giving example about bonus. So is it like a dividend stripping is applicable on the bonus also?
Yes. Means whatever the law earlier, that was there as it is. And 3 items are added, Khali: real estate investment trust, alternative investment fund, and bonus stripping extended security. Now, sorry, unit of infrastructure investment trust, real estate investment trust, and alternative investment trust. So whatever law was there earlier, same continues, sir, as it is. Only 3 companies were added.
Okay.
सर विमल जी, एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन था.
हाँ सर.
सर, ये क्राउड कलेक्शन जो कोविड के लिए हुआ है ना, तो उसमें कैसे होता है कि भाई ट्रस्ट वगैरह के पास आ गया पैसा और उसने किसी को दे दिया, तो एक समझ सकते हैं कि उनको बेनिफिट मिल जाए. लेकिन अब प्रॉब्लम ऐसे है कि उन्होंने दिया कि जिसको पैसा मिला हो, अब यहाँ पे तो कलेक्ट करने वाला कोई और रहता है और बेनिफिशियरी कोई और रहता है, तो अब ये किसके हाथ में बेनिफिट जाएगा?
जो लॉ में ऐसा लिखा है सर कि किसी का डेथ हो गया है और उसके लीगल एयर को मिलता है 10 लाख रुपए तक, अदर देन एम्प्लॉयर, तो उसको टैक्स नहीं लगेगा. लेकिन पैसा तो भी जेन्युइन आदमी को मिलना चाहिए. आप देंगे किसी को, ऐसे ही कोई पैसा ले लेगा और कल ये प्रूव होएगा तो लफड़े का काम हो गया वो तो.
ठीक है, अभी बेनिफिट जिसको मिला हो तो जेन्युइन पर्सन है, लेकिन जिसने कलेक्ट किया है,
हाँ वो कर सकते हैं, उसमें क्या
कोई अलग ही बंदा है जिसने सब लोगों से पैसा इकट्ठा किया है, उसके अकाउंट में पैसा आया है और उसने फिर इनको ट्रांसफर किया है, तो उसकी पोजीशन क्या रहेगी? उसके हाथ में क्या टैक्सेबिलिटी का इश्यू रहेगा? उसके पास जेन्युइन पेमेंट भी दिखा रहा है, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली इसके रिसीट उसके अकाउंट में अभी आ रही है,
तो उसके पास जो पैसा जिन लोगों से उसने कलेक्ट किया है, उन्होंने किसी ने क्लेम तो कुछ किया नहीं होगा डिडक्शन में.
नहीं कोई क्लेम नहीं किया, पर ये तो ऐसे भी कोई ये वो डोनेशन बेसिस पे तो नहीं आया, ऐसे ही सबसे मांग के लिया भाई 25,000, 10,000, 15,000, तो उसके अकाउंट में 4-5 लाख 10 लाख रुपए आ गया, उसने
4-5-10 लाख है तो मेरे को लगता नहीं प्रॉब्लम आएगा कुछ. हाँ, कोई ज्यादा पैसा लेके मिसयूज करेगा तो प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है, अदरवाइज नहीं आएगी.
तो क्या उसको एक्सप्लेनेशन देना पड़ेगा कि भाई इसके अकाउंट में इतना पैसा, क्योंकि आज के डेट में सब लोग तो ट्रांसफर ही मार देते, कोई कैश देगा नहीं.
कहाँ से आया उसका नाम एड्रेस होना चाहिए, किसको दिया उसका नाम एड्रेस होना चाहिए.
बस वो कंफर्मेशन से काम हो सकता है ना.
ओके, यस,
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू.
Okay, people who may have questions, please raise your hand. I will allow you to speak. We still have time within this to end this seminar. Okay, Siddharth, you can go ahead.
Sir, I have one question. You have spoken about section 115 BBH. Sir, you have said that taxability is 30%. So under what head? It will be under business or it will be under other source of income?
Yes, क्रिप्टो करेंसी की बात है.
Yes sir.
Okay. तो स्टिल भी सर एक बार तो बिजनेस में ही आएगा, लेकिन सेपरेट हेड आएगा, स्पेकुलेशन टाइप ऐसा सब हेडिंग.
So it will be like speculative type,
but it will be part of business only, or if they define finally it will be under different heading altogether, under the business के उधर ही ABCD डाल देंगे, otherwise it will be business, but it will be independent separate business which cannot be linked with other business.
क्योंकि सर वो कैप बोनस लॉटरी के लिए अलग सेक्शन दिया है, वैसे ही हो सकता है इनलाइन.
वैसा भी हो सकता है, वो अभी पूरा आएगा तो मालूम पड़ेगा सर, फॉर्म आता है कैसे आता है. पर अभी टाइम भी इन्होंने बोला है कि भाई आपको 30% टैक्स लगेगा, 1% TDS लगेगा, गिफ्ट देंगे तो गिफ्ट लगेगा, और रिजर्व बैंक अपना स्कीम लेके आएगी पूरा, फिर उसको भाई मालूम पड़ेगा क्या हो रहा है. अभी तो टीवी पे बहुत सारे बोलते हैं रेगुलाइज हुआ है, कोई बोलते हैं रेगुलाइज नहीं हुआ है, पर अपना इनकम टैक्स एंगल से रेगुलराइज है। इनकम टैक्स में तो क्या है, टैक्स भरो बस, खाली और कुछ नहीं,
बस टैक्स
चोरी करके पैसा लाओ, टैक्स भरो।
करेक्ट।
Okay, we also have Alpesh Dharod. See Alpesh Dharod, he's raised his hand. I have allowed you to unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good
I
evening.
have two questions. One with respect to department not filing appeal and making an application before ITAT or wherever. So, for example, say they have filed an application before ITAT saying that same question of law is there in High Court. High Court decides it in my favor. That is, in suppose it's in other case. The other case has been decided in favor of the assessee. But then that in the other case, the department has gone into Supreme Court. So when will my officer file an appeal before the ITAT?
He can decide even after High Court. He can file. If you want to wait up to Supreme Court, he can do that.
But he has to file, because what will happen is the proposed amendment says 60 days from the receipt of the order of the High Court.
Then he
But
will file
filing an
within
appeal before Supreme Court will take time.
Yes.
So what will be the department do?
ऐसा है सर, तीन ऑप्शन है. If officer feel he don't want to wait till the High Court order or Supreme Court order, he want to file appeal now, he can do that. In case he decide कि भाई अम्मा 10,000 रुपए क्यों खर्च करूं, मैं क्यों डिपार्टमेंट का टाइम खराब करूं, क्यों इतना पेपर वर्क करूं, so let me wait कि दूसरा केस तो चल ही रहा है हाई कोर्ट में, I want to file after that, he can do that. After receipt of order, he can file. If he feel he want to wait up to Supreme Court order, he can do that. All provisions उसमें आ जाएंगे 158 AB में.
Okay. मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन है कि बहुत सेक्शंस में it has been mentioned by the finance minister, it is a clarificatory amendment.
Yes, particularly faceless assessment के लिए.
14A के लिए भी बोला है, तो बहुत सारा चीज
नहीं 14A में तो क्लेरिफिकेटर में डिपार्टमेंट का डे वन से वही ग्राउंड था कि एनी एक्सपेंडिचर इनकर्ड अगेंस्ट द एग्जेम्प्टेड इनकम इज नॉट अलाउड, पर कोर्टों ने व्यू ले लिया कि यू कैन नॉट डिसअलाउ समथिंग मोर देन द इनकम.
करेक्ट. नहीं तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि सिंस एट वन साइड they are saying that this is clarificatory in nature and bringing in an explanation, and the other side they say the amendment is proposed to be with effect from 1/4/22. So can still they take in view that नहीं ये explanation आया, ये clarificatory nature है, ये retrospective होगा?
इसमें ऐसा है सर, हाँ वो अभी तो नहीं बोलेंगे, बोलना होता तो बोल देते थे, बिकॉज वर्ल्ड बैंक ने, यूएनओ ने, सबने बोला है भारत सरकार को आपके इतने अमेंडमेंट होते हैं रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव के, व्यापारी को समझ नहीं आता क्या करने का. अब कोई चीज लीगल है, आदमी धंधा करता है, आराम से शांति से बैठता है, 5 साल से चल रही है और सडनली अमेंडमेंट होता है. ये कब अभी तो नहीं आ रहा है, पर पहले मैं तो ऐसा देखा है, ये अमेंडमेंट 1961 से लगेगा, ये अमेंडमेंट 1993 से लगेगा. तो आप पागल है, 40-40 साल किधर क्या देखेगा वो. तो वो हिसाब से ये एक्चुअली अभी जो ये अपना 14A वगैरह का देखा है, ये रियल में अभी जो अमेंडमेंट होने के बाद है, गवर्नमेंट का इंटेंशन पहले भी वही था, बट कोर्टों में मैटर जा जाके अपन लोगों ने इसको इतना उलझा दिया कि मतलब वो कुछ इस तरह कर ही नहीं सकता था आईटीओ. तो अभी उसको क्लेरिफाई कर दिया उधर के भाई अभी ये डिसअलाउ हो गई होगा ऐसा.
Okay.
लेकिन अभी भी फाइनल नहीं है. अपन लोगों का तो क्या है, देखो सीए तो वो चीज पढ़ता है जो यहाँ पे लिखा है, और एडवोकेट लोग तो वो चीज पढ़ते हैं जो नहीं भी लिखी है, और वो करके भी आ जाते हैं. तो ये तो भी और जज भी वैसे ही सुनने वाले हैं सब. तो फाइनली जो लिटिगेशन होएगा देखा जाएगा, बिकॉज आज की डेट में जो अभी कल ही बताया था उसने कि 61,000 ऐसे लोग हैं पूरे हिंदुस्तान के अंदर जिसकी इनकम 1 करोड़ के ऊपर है. टैक्स भरने वाले तो 1.5 करोड़ ही है, रिटर्न भले 8 करोड़ भरते होंगे, बाकी सब बिलो टैक्सेबल वाले हैं, पेपर वर्क वाले ही है खाली. लेकिन 1.5 करोड़ आदमी टैक्स भरते हैं, उसमें 61,000 1 करोड़ के ऊपर है. और एटलीस्ट मेरे पास में लिस्ट है 1000 टैक्स पेयर की जिसकी इनकम 100 करोड़ से ऊपर है, और उसमें से 250-300 तो एडवोकेट है. इंडस्ट्रीज तो बहुत कम है.
Okay.
और उसके बाद सेकंड कैटेगरी आती है चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की. अभी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बैलेंस शीट बनाता है, उसका इनकम साला 100 करोड़ किधर से हो गया. एक एडवोकेट ये रिव्यू आर्ग्यू कर रहा है, उसका 100 करोड़ क्या हो गया. लेकिन अभी है ये प्रोफेशनल लोगों का. डॉक्टरों की इनकम है, रियली व्यापारी तो 12-13 ही है जिसकी इनकम 100 करोड़ से ऊपर है. खाली एडवोकेट, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, डॉक्टर, वही और फिल्म स्टार, ये 4 कैटेगरी ऐसी है कि यही बड़े इनकम वाले जो प्रैक्टिकली कोई प्रोडक्टिव काम नहीं कर रहे। अब तो खाली वो खाल खोदने का ही काम करते हैं सब एक्चुअली।
Thank you, sir.
We still have 1 or 2 minutes to go. So any other questions, please feel free to ask. You may raise your virtual hand and I will allow you to ask. Sir, one question मेरे तरफ से भी.
हाँ,
So,
सर।
ये जो क्रिप्टो करेंसी का TDS आया है, वो क्या सबको काटना है, ऐसा कुछ उसमें लिखा है या सिर्फ बिजनेस केसेस में ही है?
नहीं, सबको।
So all SSEs,
यस
यानी
सर।
इंडिविजुअल जिसको ऑडिट केस नहीं कुछ
एबव थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट लिखा है, पर थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट क्या होगा वो अभी तक डिसाइड नहीं किया है। तो मे बी वो फिगर रखेंगे 50,000, लाख, 2 लाख जो भी रखना होगा उसके ऊपर में। और जब वो लिमिट नहीं फिक्स करते हैं तो फिर आपको सब पे 100 रुपए आएगा तो भी काटने का है।
तो भी काटना है, तो लोगों को रेडी रहना पड़ेगा इसके लिए।
हाँ, अभी वो तो एक्चुअली एंड में क्या होगा गॉड नोज। एक्चुअली मेरे तो 4-5 क्लाइंट तो ऐसे है कि मकान बेच के क्रिप्टो करेंसी में घुस गए सब। मैं तो डिस्करेज किया, मैं साला डूब जाएगा, समझ में आ नहीं रहा है क्या ये। बोला विमल भाई फ्यूचर बहुत अच्छा है। और एक तो उसमें बिगिनिंग के 8-10 लोग उसमें से एक है, टॉप के 8 में से।
सो मोस्टली यंग जनरेशन ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट कर रही है।
यस।
एवरीबॉडी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रिप्टो, लेकिन है क्या वो
बोलते हैं डीमेट से ज्यादा अकाउंट क्रिप्टो के है।
हाँ,
मेरे एक ऑफिस में लड़की काम करती है, उसका हस्बैंड बैंक में पता नहीं किधर काम करता है, सीनियर आदमी है। उसको 100 खर्चा तो बाप चला रहा है उसका घर का, और
हाँ।
इसका 100% सैलरी क्रिप्टो में जा रहा है।
हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ रिस्क ले रहे लोग।
डिजिटल वर्ल्ड।
पैसा तो दिखता नहीं है, नहीं पैसा है किधर है, तो प्लस माइनस ही हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है गॉड नोस। ये हम लोगों को तो क्या, जब तक जेब में पैसा नहीं आता, हाथ में पैसा या गोल्ड या डायमंड रियल चीज नहीं दिखती, समझ में नहीं आता कि क्या आया।
यस
सर, आर्टिफिशियल मनी।
हाँ, अब जैसे ही बढ़ रही है, एक दिन घट जाएगी, बढ़ेगी, क्या होगा गॉड नोस।
लोग भी वेट कर रहे हैं कि प्रॉफिट दिख जाए, कहीं वो आर्टिफिशियल निकल गया तो अलग तकलीफ हो जाएगी।
नहीं, पर एंड में प्रॉफिट दिखेगा तो बैंक में आना चाहिए नहीं सर?
आना चाहिए, यस।
वो नोशनल अकाउंट के अंदर ही बढ़ रहा है, घट रहा है, तो दोस्तों तो क्या करने का।
सर काफी खुश इसलिए है कि इनकम टैक्स में एक्चुअली कुछ तो आया इसके बारे में।
हाँ।
नहीं तो सब कोई अदर सोर्स ट्रीट कर रहा है, कोई उसको कैपिटल एसेट ट्रीट कर रहा है, क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं था।
करेक्ट।
So I don't see anyone else coming up for a question.
फिर भी कोई सर जो क्वेश्चन रह गया होगा तो मेरे को मेल पे भेज देना सर, मैं जवाब दे दूंगा। और आपके लेक्चर के साथ मेरा 6 लेक्चर पूरे हो गए, 6 अभी तक बाकी आ गए।
वंडरफुल सर, आपकी तो इतनी एनर्जी थी, ऐसा लग रहा था फर्स्ट लेक्चर है ये। Okay, wonderful. So we're moving ahead. We will move ahead for a quick word of thanks by the Deputy Conveyor, Siddharth Dwivedi.
Thank you, Nishchit. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and experience with our CA members. So you have divided this budget session into 4 parts: favorable with assessee, against with assessee, general, and question and answer session. So most important amendments you have touched upon was 139(8)(a), 239(a), COVID-related amendments, Section 79(a), important 179, Section 14(a), and virtual assets, Section 68. So it was a great opportunity to hear you on budget 2022. As rightly said by our Unmesh sir, members will get benefited from today's webinar, and I am sure about that. Sir, अभी आप देख सकते हैं, अभी भी सब अटेंड कर ही रहे हैं। रात के 9 बजे खाने का समय हो गया है, लेकिन अभी यहीं पर है। Thank you members for attending this webinar. Over to you, Nishchit. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. We can see a lot of people appreciating on the chat box also. Narvekar sir, Ravi Jain, Vinner Jain, Kunal, Paras Gala, Thank you all that you loved this session. At the end, I would just share a small piece of thing by R.K. Lakshman. It's like उनको हमने बचपन से देखा है, उनके कॉमिक्स को हमने निहारा है, तब से लेके आज तक वो सेंस बन रहा है उन कॉमिक्स का. Just give me a moment. एक सेकेंड. आई होप आपको मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही हो.
Yes, sir.
ये एक स्मॉल पिक्चर है जो उन्होंने मार्च 15, 1989 में शेयर बनाया था टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया के लिए. एंड इट इज स्टिल रेलेवेंट. मैं रीड करता हूँ. माय रिएक्शन टू द बजट. आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट रीड इट, बट एनीवे यू कैन से द पुअर आर लेट डाउन, द सैलरीड क्लास इज हिट, and it's a sellout to the rich. So with this, I close this today's seminar. Thank you all for joining in. It was a great, pleasant evening. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
close
very
the
much.
meeting for today. Bye, everyone.